Hey everyone, Landsman Oz here, and welcome to a first look game. This is a Modulus by Happy Volcano and published by Astrological. Um, this is the demo, so as you can see at the top there, the beta demo, available over on Steam. It came out on the 7th of April 2025, and Steam blurb, as always. Modulus is a factory automation game where you cut, colour, stamp, and assemble 3D building blocks. Design and optimize sprawling factories with creative freedom to efficiently fulfill the orders of the grand neural network. So, the game itself is a coming soon. I'll jump on over into the Discord if you are interested. I will throw a link down below. But yeah, it's a bit different. There's some similar games out there. You may have seen the game Shapes, for example. There's some bits and pieces out there that are along the same lines, but this is taking it to a bit of a different level. So you can see here they do a screenshot contest that's weekly where you play the game and you can submit your screenshot. And join the Discord for them. But let's just jump in. Let's hit new game. Arrow. First look, we'll call it. Alright, welcome to Modulus. Created by the colony, you are an advanced AI designed for one purpose, total manufacturing efficiency. Your directive is clear. Build a vast factory and maintain a steady supply of robots to serve the colony below. But when a transmission from deep space reaches you, it resonates not with code, but with something more. The grand neural network is calling out to you. To connect with the GNN and uncover the truth behind its voice, you must establish the neural link. Construct massive structures of unprecedented scale, the neural monuments. Only by completing them will you unlock your true potential. You'll see some examples here of some of the gameplay. Love the art style. Alright, so welcome Unit Nova Former 404. Let's run a test protocol on your sensors. Try adjusting your camera. So WASD, right mouse button will rotate, and then zoom in and out using your scroll wheel. Fairly simple controls. Alright, so our task here is to place 8 miners in the correct rotation. You can see here the thing here is it's showing you which way that they want them to point. So this is obviously a rock formation. To mine resources. So your factory of machines are called operators. They can be found on the bottom toolbar. Place down some miners to extract polyrock. This is a miner here. And then we can push R to rotate. It wants us to place 8 in this pattern. All right. The furnace. The furnace melts polyrock into cubes, the starting point of all modules you'll be creating. So let's grab a furnace and plop him there. Okay, transporting resources, conveyor belts are used to move items across your factory. Now let's move the polyrock into the furnace. So conveyors are here, or number 1. So we want to build belts like this, just left click and drag. Oops, if I'm clicking the right way. Hello, can I rotate? There we go. Alright, you can see the little lumps heading towards the furnace. Now we need to build some belts out. Alright. So using the cutter operator, use the newly unlocked cutter to cut the cube into 2 halves. To enter an operator, press left mouse button to make sure the selection tool on the left side of the screen is enabled. This one. You can quickly switch to it by pressing the right mouse button. So we need to put a cutter down. So you can see here, it wants us to place it here. Right, and then we need to open this up. This is what will currently happen. We can rotate things around so that it actually cuts. So we're going to click the cutter and configure it to cut the cube in half. So if I push that, is that correct? Yep, so it went green. If I do this, it shows you the output over here. We get 3 and 1. We want it 2 and 2. So I'm just cutting it 2 and hit configure. Now it will start cutting. Right, inspect the pinned module. So this is what it wants us to make up here. We need to click on this, and this is what it's asking us to create. 64 cubes, 2 by 4 by 8. Okay. So to do that, we're going to need an assembler. So let's build an assembler. Very good. And then connect it up with some belts. Okay, so those blocks are coming down. The assembler requires 2 inputs. Let's see here, the 2. So we need to put a splitter down, which will be this. And then we need to put some belts in. All right, so it's feeding the same block of material, because that's what we're getting into it, into both inputs here in the assembler. Let's click on the assembler. This is the output that it wants. So to do this, we can then click and drag and push R to rotate. Okay. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Drag modules. Oh, gotta do it on here. Derp. Okay. And configure. Right. Place down a basic core facility. It's this guy. Cube. Okay. Draw a conveyor belt along building. Very nice. So that material that it asked us to make is taking those 2 blocks, converting it into this one long block, and then we're feeding it down towards this. We need to build a crane. Connect a crane to the basic facility. Add a crane. So I've just left clicked and hit add crane. Okay. Inspect the second pinned module. So we've got this, and it wants us to make this 2 by 8 by 2 tall block. And it's telling us that we've got material coming in. We can start using this. So it wants us to put a splitter down. Is off. Then it wants us to place another cutter. Then we want to open this up. And it wants us to do that and cut it 2s. Alright. So now what will come out of there will be the piece we need. Right, and we need to deliver the second piece into here, so let's add another crane. Like so. Right, so that's now collecting those pieces and putting in. You can see it's placing it up in this piece at the top. And it needs a few more pieces to get that done. Alright, completed buildings produce resources. To collect those resources, place down a harvester pad and link drones to those buildings. So we need to place down a harvester pad. It's this one here. And face it the right direction. Link a harvester pad to the basic core facility. You can see it's still building its stuff up the top here. Still needs a few more of these before it's finished. It's starting to build. Alright, so we need to click this, and we need to link to here. Our little harvester dude. Rotate back around. He's just doing his thing. Okay, and it wants us to put some conveyors on the output. Okay, so anything that it creates, it will place down over here. The basic core facility will start production as soon as it's completed. In the meantime, let's already start on the next building. Basic bot assembly. One of the new modules is black. Use the monotoner to turn modules black. Buildings don't care about module rotation. This is almost done and needs 48 of them though. Okay. Basic bot assembly. Okay. Okay. Now that we're going to create new modules, it's a good idea to start another production line. There's a lot of unlimited resources on the map that we can use to increase our production. Don't forget to mine them, unit Nova Former 404. If you have any more information, see it in the manual pause thing. So we've got all these materials up here. And we're going to need more bits and pieces. So these are the items that it wants us to make. We've got this here, which is 32 by whatever. So let's start with getting some harvesters, which is whichever one that one, the miner. Oop. It's not exactly where I wanted it, but that's fine. Okay, let's get our belts. All right. So we need to do something similar here, right? So first thing, bonus. Oh, I should have split that into two. Don't worry about me. Let's do belts here. Like that. It's gonna smelt up, we're gonna get the cores again. And again, let's do our cutter, because we're trying to make this, and then we're trying to make this. So I could probably take these materials here, because it's the same thing. Let's imitate this a little bit, and then we'll cut it a couple of times. So first things first, let's get our do this. So I want similar thing here. We want assembler. We want a splitter. Belts. What are you doing? Please. Okay, and then you will be okay. Bigger. Good. I don't know what that is. Just somewhere we can't build. Okay, so we've got this. One thing we want to do now is it's 8. And then this one, there's two things we can do. One is, not what I want. One is we can take this and we can cut it. And that will give us one part. And then the other thing we can do is run a splitter. And then we can, I think, run another cutter. And this one I want to cut it this way. And then we want a monotoner. Oh, I'm getting a bit close to this thing. I want you to make it black. So if you have something coming out, it should be black. Yes. So that's the part we need. And this is the other part we need. There are our two materials. And this is what needs to go over to here. So I need to run both of these belts. Like that. And then we can go add a crane from there and then one here. Okay. Alrighty. You will need a large number of cores to produce bots. Copy tool helps you quickly copy large parts of your factory. If you have a larger supply, you can add more cranes to speed up production. I'm going to say, interestingly, that's very close to what I made, but it's not quite what I've got there. If you look, yeah, cool. We can add more cranes. This will take a while. I could double. I mean, making basic cores. What will you actually make? And obviously, there's only a finite building space, and we'll expand into other areas later. As it says, I could duplicate this up if I wanted to and run a whole second line of them, but we're not. I guess you could run it down the other side of the building. If for all that matters, you could add 2 more cranes. Okay. Getting there. Very different little cores. We're going to need another harvester pod as well. And that's got enough of the white one. Needs the black one now. Okay. Cores are going to be needed by the building to create bots, but production can only start if the building is completed. Buildings under construction always need a large number of modules delivered. The production cycle only needs a fraction of these modules. Okay, so you can see here when you're building it, it takes 24 and 48, but when you're actually producing them, it's only 4 and 8. So, okay. Basic bot assembly produces basic bots. Collect them with a new harvester pad, and deposit them in the delivery dock. Okay. Delivery dock. Okay, so we need to place a second harvester pad. This one. Yep. And link it to the basic bot factory. It's like that. Deliver cores to the basic bot assembly using crane. So we actually need to get these cores into here. It needs cores. So let's take this belt. What I wouldn't mind, just removing those two. Get this belt. Run it here. And then add a couple of cranes. Okay. Okay, so we are producing bots and then placed in a delivery dock. Where's that one? Actually over here somewhere. It's blue. Delivery dock. Ah, that one there. We need to put down a delivery dock. Pop in here for now, and then run some belts. I don't know why that did that. Here we go. Here's our little bots. Cool. Congratulations on delivering your first bots and passing initial calibration. The colony expects many bots to be delivered, so it's important to sustain many buildings at once to keep up with rising demands. You now have access to the counter operator. It will help you keep track of your factory's efficiency. You also now have the scrapper, which pairs well with the counter to get continuous flow and track the exact efficiency. You can upgrade buildings. Upgrading will temporarily stop production, but afterwards the building will output much more with the same input. Be sure to check the building info pop-up for more information about effects. Don't forget to upgrade your building's unit Nova Former 404. It's very powerful. Okay, so currently we are making this, and we're getting the little bots as they come out. What it wants us to do is upgrade. Now if we look here, this guy needs... Let's add some cranes. I'm going to double the amount. And then let's upgrade. It's going to give us 3 times the amount of cores. The same amount. Okay, do that. Alright. It's going to take a moment. It's going to need some materials. Right, and now the next thing it wants us to do is start getting into paint. We've sent you a new building design, the basic refinery. This building will produce blue pigment, which we'll later need to create blue modules. Oh, goodness me. It wants the blue pigment refinery. Okay. Deliver the first module of the basic refinery blue pigment. Does it just want me to place it down? I don't know what it wants. Oh boy. It needs some stuff. Look at it. I am going to need to move you. I'm going to pop you all the way over here. So to get this, we need actually 3 separate things. So we need a slab of black. We need a slab of white and black. Oh my. Okay. Okay, looking at this, gotta work out how to make this. This will be fun. Okay, this will keep doing its thing. Oh, just gives 3 cores, not 3 times the core. Just 3 cores for each production thing. Okay, let's start looking into this. We're going to need the blue pigment eventually. So I need a couple of things. Let's grab some miners. Okay, do what we did earlier. Getting a bit closer so I can actually see what I'm doing. Be smart. Okay. Is doing nothing. Okay. Got some stuff coming in. let's see what we can do. So obviously we need to at least make this length. So I guess the first things first is to, as we have been, that we want to, I want to cut it straight away. I think so. I need to just cut it like that. Cool. And out of that we're going to get this. And we're going to put a splitter in. And then I want to assemble. And we're going to make this. Okay. That gives us this. Now, there's two things we can do here. One, we need to split that. I want to split that. Cool. It's going to give us this. I then want to, I want one to turn it black. Cool. The other one's white. Now, here's a few things we're going to need to do. So first things first, we're going to need to flip. Yes. I want to do this, and then I want to put an assembler. We're going to take this, we're going to rotate you. I'm running out of space, I'll have to move this in a second. 1 by 8 by 8. Yep, cool. That's that one. This second one, I actually need, that's where we have some fun. I need some of this. I'm going to need to split this again. Because I need, where's my stuff? So this one here, it's gonna be a bit of fun. I might need to make this as its own module. We can make this one now by basically doing this and then joining them together. Cool. So okay. Okay, so that gets 2 of them. And then the last one, think a little bit about this last one. So I kind of want to make the white and black, which I could probably split from here. If I move this apart a little bit, I'd probably be okay. But I wonder whether it's worth just doing this again. Is what I might need to do is we'll split off here. I'll take this, run this belt out this way a little. Alright, because what I want to do, potentially, I'm trying to think out loud. I want to do this, and I want one. I'm going to dye the other one. And then I'm going to cut it. Okay. I'm then going to ooh. Can I move that? It's okay. Let's try this. What I want to do... I do need to move this one. I need to split. Okay. And then bring this. Right, and then... Right, so you, I want to bring over here. I want to rotate. Good, configure. And then this one, I want to bring this in. Cool. And then let's bring this belt. Okay, like so. Alright, well that was a bunch of fun. So you can see how much fun this is going to be if you can sit down and build all the factories and get things going. Again, I can be much more efficient than I am, and I started trying to do that here where I'm butting machines right up against each other. I was doing this down here more just to see how what I'm producing. So again, we can get really efficient if we can squish things right up together. But I think that's a good indicator of what's going on in the game. If you're interested, go and check it out. Wishlist it on Steam. Do all the good stuff that helps the devs understand what's happening with their game and how wanted it is. But until next time, thank you all for watching. Leave those comments down below. We'll just click through this. We need to get, yeah, as I said before, we need a die mixer. Okay, so I'd need to then put some sort of mixer on this and follow through this. Cool. Whatever this thing is, oil. There we go. Mix things together. All right. Again, if you're interested, go and check it out. Thank you all for watching. Leave the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed it. I do love the art style. I think it's a really, really nice and clean aesthetic. But yeah, check it out. This has been a Modulus. This is the demo. You can play this demo. Pretty sure it's still available out there. Yep, it still says on Steam install demo. So go and check out and you can play through this yourself. See how efficient you can get with your factories. Until next time, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.